Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Intermission, the place where two film students discuss classic, iconic, and obscure films from times gone by. I'm one of those film students, Oscar W. Fitchett. I watched this film for the first time on Friday when it came out. I've given it another rewatch. I've now watched this thing twice. Just finished my second viewing right now, and I don't even know where to begin. I go from fucking loving elements of this film. There's moments where I'm like, I love this. To then the next second, I am despising this film. I feel weird making a review about this film from like a critical standpoint, because this film is very much so a film that it's a very interesting critique on critique. I think there's so much framing of this that I look at the framing like of certain shots and I'm like, God, man, that's like stunning. Like a stunning piece of visual art right there. And that's another bit of the complication. I'm watching these things happen and I hate it. I'm hating things. And in the next second, it's like, oh, look at this gorgeous shot, though. And I'm like, you just said so much more in that one shot than you did for the entire, 20-minute scene that you just had. This film reeks of first draft. That's the best way I can describe it. There's a lot of interesting ideas that are being explored in Malcolm and Marie, and a lot of interesting things that are being said, and a fascinating concept, and a film where there is an incredible film in there, but it just reeks of first draft. I adored the opening. Like, this is where I remember first time watching this film. Film opens, we're getting the credits. It's this long shot of the car driving into a driveway. And then Zendaya and John David Washington walk in their house. Music's playing. John David Washington's dancing. It's this slick, really long, swift shot. And I'm fucking in. I remember verbally saying when the film the first time I watched this, first time watching the scene, I remember saying to myself, this is sick. And that's exactly what I thought first time watching this. And even second time watching it, God, the opening moments are addictive. It's like it sinks your teeth in. And then as soon as the dialogue starts and the characters start talking, I'm just so conflicted with everything, because I'm like, this is worded and this is verbiage that is not at all right. I'm not even going to say authentic, because this film has ruined that use of the word in any critical sense. And I kind of do agree. And again, it feels like Sam Levinson is shouting at critics, at critical people in this film. That's what I mean. Whereas it's so I can't even say authentic. It didn't feel authentic, because this film wasn't trying to be authentic. It wasn't. And I admire that so much. It's stylistic, but an almost unpleasant stylistic. That's the thing that I can really, truly think about this film. It's an unpleasant experience, but for some reason, I feel like I'm going to keep coming back to this film. I feel like I haven't quite grasped how I feel. Not in the sense I don't get it. I need to understand more about the plot. I mean more so in the sense I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how my head is thinking about this film. When I feel this is almost an attack on criticism and critics, I think a film that did it better was I'm Thinking of Ending Things. Well, I'm Thinking of Ending Things felt more like there was a segment in I'm Thinking of Ending Things where it felt like it was a celebration of critics as almost just as an important part of the arts as the artists themselves, which I do actually kind of agree with. Whereas I think Malcolm and Marie was just a straight up attack on it. And what frustrated me so much was there was an element of me that related to that. And I hate it. There's glaring issues with this film. And I can see it outright. And then I think to myself, well, it's like, I would make those decisions. I fucking hate that I would make those decisions in a script. I despise that. So what I'm saying is Malcolm Marie is making me realize that there's is making me confront a place in my head that really irks me. This film is exhausting, and it's the feeling that I finally realized the feeling that I have with this film, like what this feeling evokes in me watching this. I said it's an unpleasant watch. I feel like I'm going through a goddamn breakup with this film. And I don't mean that even in the sense of Blue Valentine, where you kind of, or like even Marriage Story. I mean that in the sense of like a real I'm watching two characters go through this tough time. The vibe that I'm getting, and like just this almost erratic, unpleasant nature that this film exudes. But yeah, it shows so much that I love. Again, I love the cinematography. I love some of the characteristics. The acting's great. John Day Washington's really good. Zendaya is a fucking just a revelation in this film. I love this film, but I despise this film. And I don't think I've ever had a film give me that type of emotion before. Like, at least to this extreme of a level. Like, as of right now, I still don't know whether if I goddamn like this film. Within this film that John Day Washington's character, Malcolm, where Malcolm's directed, there's a debate between him and Marie of, like, who it's based on and what the story is based on. And I find that so fascinating how, like, there's, again, I don't want to ruin the film, I don't want to spoil it, but there's moments where Marie is saying it's based off me, and then Malcolm's like, no, it's not. And then she's like, well, who's it based off then? And then Malcolm just goes, this person on my life, 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 this experience of my life, this. I ran a first draft of the script before I even met you, which I love that moment because it's literally, again, that feels like a moment where it's like, yeah, as a writer, yeah. You amalgamate so many things. There's no, to me, when I'm writing at least, there's not one script that I've written that's based off one direct experience. It's based off on a whole amalgamation of experiences and moments in my life. I honestly appreciate the discussion more so when they talk about the creative process than when they do about criticism. Because I think when they talk about criticism and critics, it just becomes too cynical, too mean-spirited. It just becomes an attack. And again, an unpleasant one at that. Whereas this talk about the creative process, it's a battle and process of it's a battle and discussion in the sense of like, it's based on this. No, it's based on this. But if you think this, but do you think if you never met me, would this story exist? And it's an interesting conversation. And I kind of wish the film was purely that. Was this conversation of the creative process and the true deep dive, in-depth analysis discussion on what inspires an artist. And that is where I think Malcolm and Marie does shine, like could shine. And I think that's where you have an amazing film in there. I think any art that sticks in your head, no matter what feeling it gives you, has merit to it. And the forgettable films are almost the worst offenders of any form of art, whether it be film, music, TV, etc., etc., etc. Malcolm Marie is certainly staying in my head. And it's not going to leave anytime soon. Thank you all for watching this review. Links are in the description for all the intermission stuff. Tomorrow, the Intermission podcast will be uploading the Robbie and I's top 10 favourite films of 2020, so look forward to that this weekend. So, thank you all. See you later.